Bailout? What bailout? Ireland on the brink of borrowing on the international capital markets proper for the first time since its bailout in late 2010. And it looks like it will be a roaring success. Orders for the €2.5 billion syndicated bond have already topped €7 billion. For more on that and Spain's 2013 borrowing plans, I'm joined now by Michael Leister, Senior Rates Strategist at Commerzbank. Michael, it's shaping up to be a huge success, Ireland's much heralded return to the market, yet you would recommend not buying it.
Yeah, exactly. At this point in time, we think there is simply not much juice left in there, given that Irish bonds, they have rallied quite hard over the past month, and it looks a bit like, now investors might book some profits here, and that the rally is running out of steam.
So out of the periphery, which countries would you be a buyer of now?
Well, in that specific segment, we would actually prefer Portugal for the time being, given that it's sort of a similar story, somewhat delayed in time compared to Ireland, but yet at the same time, Portuguese bonds still offer much more pickup compared to Irish peers or the likes of Italy, for example, and Spain. OK, let's move to Spain.
It's announced its gross funding plans for the year up to €230 billion. Of course, that includes bills. Bonds is about 121 billion, 10 billion a month. Does the market have the appetite for that?
Well, let's say the market certainly has the liquidity for that due to all the ECB policies, given that investors still sort of are rather cash rich. But the question will indeed be how well or how smooth this supply will be taken down. So we get the 2-year bond on Thursday, but actually the real test for that, or to make a sort of a more elaborate judgment on that call, will have to be the launch of a new 10-year bond.
And what's your gut instinct? Does Madrid go for a bailout soon? Q2, Q3?
Well, for the time being, I guess there is no real pressure for them to act, given that, across the curve yields are very low, so they can fund themselves at rather comfortable levels. And also from other capitals in Europe, there is not much pressure. That said, however, and as we've learned in the past, market environment can turn around rather quickly, and the market can increase the pressure once again. And then indeed a 10-year auction or the launch of a new 10-year bond might be a suitable trigger for that. OK, Michael, thank you very much. Well, shares in South Africa-listed AngloGold Ashanti down more than 2% after CEO Mark Cutifani stepped down. He will replace outgoing Cynthia Carroll as head of Anglo American. Shares in that company up more than 2%. Telco's also having a good day, with Samsung earlier posting a record quarterly profit of $8.3 billion. And here in Europe, the sector getting a lift on news Verizon may buy Vodafone's stake in Verizon Wireless. Shares in Vodafone up almost 2.5%. And in currencies, the Swedish crown coming under heavy selling pressure after minutes of the Riksbank's last policy meeting showed policymakers considered lowering interest rates by 50 basis points instead of 25. The euro jumping more than half of 1% to 8.58 crowns, its biggest one-day rise since the end of November. And on this day in history, in 1987, the Dow Jones Industrials crossed 2,000 for the first time ever. That was 14 years after crossing 1,000 points. And today, well, thanks to the Fed's money printing, it's trading above 13,000, near its 2007 peak of just under 14,000. That's all for today. I'm Jamie McGeever. This is Reuters.